have a very complicated relationship with my mom. Like, I haven't spoken to her in months. And it's just that mother-daughter wound that I'm healing myself, but my mom hasn't healed herself yet type of situation. So, these things make me feel close to her while we kind of not vibe and not in harmony right now. It just kind of brings me the warmth I need in this moment I'm at right now.
Okay. We're going to touch back on that.
It's just a lot of healing that's needed in the community.
Healing is a vital aspect within everyday life. For someone who is looking to take the initiative to live a better life, what are some steps that they should follow in order to be healthy inside and
out? All right. So that's why I have my books here. So I can only speak from a woman perspective with these books. However, for the men, the books, one would be From Niggas to God, How to Eat to Live. That's for everybody. Nuri Muhammad has some good books for the men. Khalid Muhammad. Look, all these Muhammads.
Right.
But like any books from the ancestors, as far as a knowledge of self, gaining the knowledge of self. Because when I'm speaking to my people. There's a lot of things out here that said that's black culture, and I'll say that it's black culture because we know that black was something that was created for us, and then we had to create a whole different culture around being black and not aboriginal or original African people.
Right.
So that all those people that I named for the men, like those are the people that's gonna give you a knowledge of stuff of who you were before we were brought over here, before we were indoctrinated and all that. So those are the books that I would say for the men and the people. I mean, I could go on Kwame Ture, and there's some books by women, that can help as well. But it's always good to start out with someone who's coming from a male perspective like you, if you're like a spiritual journey or something like that. So for women, Sisters of the Yam by Bell Hooks. This book, I mean, I had to take a lot of pauses in this book, especially having a mother wound like how I have, and how that's just a thing on my maternal side. I mean, my mom has the shittiest relationship with her mom. I don't even have a relationship with her mom because she's not a good person. I can have grace, but it's just some energy that's like, nah.
Right.
And then the relationship that my nana had with her mom wasn't the best. However, my great grandma stood on business as far as being genuine, actually being a real grandma, showing love, care, and just being a safe haven. Of course, the 11 Laws of God, this is going to break down basically African terms, but in terms of the body. So 0 being spirit, and then 10 being like the physical body. So then it just goes through all the different elements from spirit to the actual physical experience. And it sounds very complicated, crazy probably, but when you read it, you'll understand what I mean. But if you want to just understand the human body and mind and on a spiritual level, this is the book. And it's by Raoun Nefer Amen. And he has another book that's called just The Tree of Life. It's basically the same exact book. This book just focuses on, I think, connecting all of the things to Ma'at, which is like number 4, I think. But the Tree of Life is just talking about all of them. So it's kind of the same book. And then African American Herbalism. And we have The Goddess Black Woman. So this is by Akil in the book From Niggas to Gods that I said men should read. This is basically I won't say the woman version because Niggas to God is unisex, but this is solely, for the black woman. This book is basically just like, I don't know if you ever heard of Shahrazad Ali.
Yep.
I think I'm saying her right. She's an elder. This is kind of the energy she's coming with, like basically telling black women we need to take our place back. Because we know that a nation doesn't rise any higher than its woman. The woman is the first teacher. Everyone comes from the woman. You get nurtured by the woman, fed by the woman. So if the woman is all out of order, how do you think the community is going to look? Right. So that's what this book is basically going to tell you about yourself and say, get your shit together. When you're trying to heal yourself, you just got to know that you just have to do it scared. You just got to take the leap.
Yep.
one thing at a time and let it build upon each other. Don't be so focused on, oh, I don't know if I can do it, or oh, this, just do one thing at a time, one day at a time, because we don't even know if we're gonna see tomorrow. So why are we even worried about if we can do it for 3 months? We might not even see 3 months.
Right.
Let's just focus on doing it today and being proud of today. So the books are good, but healing your childhood traumas. And of course, that's not going to be it only take a year and then we done. No, that's going to be something for life, maybe. And especially once you have kids, then you really going to have to keep being intentional on make sure you're keeping your inner child healed so you don't put any traumas onto your kids and your legacy. So starting your spiritual journey, if you need to have a journal, just getting those inside angers out and putting it somewhere, whether you put it into art, whether you cook and you put it into your food, not the negativity into your food, but just that, like getting that energy out, some way. Some people go running, working out, dancing, going to dance classes, just anything like that. And if you want, as a woman, if you want to get more into your feminine side, like pole classes, Pilates, little cutesy stuff like that, yoga, because we know that we hold tension here and women hold it in our womb. We hold a lot of anger and trauma in our womb. So just always dance and move. See, twerking, that's where twerking comes from. That's African.
Right.
That energy in that womb to keep the fertility levels up and that our energy high and, keeping those negative energies out of us and out of our womb. And then as far as eating, cutting out one thing at a time. Do not ever go cold turkey when you're trying to cut out nothing, because it ain't going to work. Yeah. And if it do work, you one of them ones. I will say you could just go cold turkey and cut out every single thing and not have no problem. You one of them ones. I ain't going to say it's impossible at all, because we are African, the blueprint. So anything is possible with us.
It is.
But yeah, putting that discipline, being patient with yourself, giving yourself grace, because a lot of us, like I said, don't have anybody in our family doing this. So we're the example. So we have to be, we have to be patient with ourselves, because this is the first time that we're adults. For one, we're new at being grown. And then for the people who are, already like, 40s, 50s, you're not new at being grown, but you're still new at trying to live this new lifestyle. Patience and grace all across the board with anything you're trying to do. And herbs. Getting herbs in your diet, making sure you're taking a daily vitamin. Iron is a big one. Drinking a lot of water, because as Black people, we eat a lot of salt, because we gonna season that food. So we gotta make sure we're cleansing our body. Yeah. Because high blood pressure, boy. Yes, it is one of them ones. And get in with an herbalist. Get in with somebody who looks like you, who knows how the African body works. A lot of these doctors, they're coming with the European standard, the white supremacy and capitalism medical standard. Yep. And that don't have nothing to do with us most of the time, almost all the time. Right. So get in with somebody who knows how your body works, who can help you get healthy, whether that be an herbalist or a nutritionist or, somebody with a conscious mindset and who's not just trying to push you into doing worldly things. We got to always stay spiritual with any type of major change. And when I say spiritual, I don't mean in the sense of like your religious or beliefs in that point, but I mean spirit just inside of you, like going within. And that's pretty much the basic stuff. The other things are just downloads you're going to get from God. Things that is nobody's business but yours. Yes. You and God, that's it. And it's not on you to share with nobody. It's not on anybody else to understand it, because it's your mission. Is what God told you you need to do, and sometimes you're not even gonna understand it. You just gotta go. Like, all right, God, all right, ancestors, all right, universe, all right, Most High, Allah, whoever you is praying to or giving thanks to. You just gotta say, I trust you, and you gotta go with it.
I want to touch on people healing childhood traumas and having those mother wounds and things like that. So I probably might check in with you prior to that, so we can have like another talk about that. Because
for that is I want to say the author is Joy DeGruy, The Post-Traumatic Slave Syndrome. That book literally just explains like why we act the way we act. And of course, it's a book that should just make you aware and not like, oh, well, okay, it's an explanation for it, so I can just keep acting like this because it's not my fault.
Right.
You know, of course, it's not nobody's fault. You know, it's you know, the Europeans, the Caucasians.
Yep.
We all know that. But okay, what are we gonna do to heal that? Now that we know where it comes from, now what are we gonna do about it? Because a lot of what's going on right now is there's a lot of information going around on TikTok and Instagram and Facebook or whatever, and it's like, okay, we know these things, but what are we doing to put it in action? So just to know stuff don't mean nothing, which is wrote this quote and was like, if the only reason why you're trying to gain knowledge is to feel superior over someone else, like you totally missing the whole point, because now you're acting just like the people who have placed you in that energy. Right. So it's like, what's the point of even doing all that if now you trying to create a whole nother class system? So we just got to be mindful of that and staying humble. Not so humble where you're not gonna talk your shit, pop your shit. Definitely do all of that. Right. But, you know, not to the point where we're just so delusional and so out of touch because, oh my goodness, so many people out of touch. They need to touch some grass, go hug some community. Because it's like, okay, we get it. You into herbs. Okay, we get it. You vegan. But it's like, bro, that shouldn't be your whole identity. Like, right. What else we got going on? What are you doing for the people? Yep. And then the other last thing that I'll say is about the post-traumatic slave syndrome thing is I talked about earlier how you were saying like a lot of our people are only focused on like day to day, and you know we're not thinking about the future. And it talks about that in the book about how a lot of young people out here, because of course this is something that's starting when you're young, they don't feel like they're gonna have a future. I mean, if you're a young black boy, and I'll use black boys because this is what, you know, is being pushed all over for the most part. I won't exclude the black women that we have lost at the hands of 12 at all. But little black boys, you know, mainly seeing other black men and boys, because we got 12-year-olds, 16-year-olds that have been killed, being like, you don't feel safe. You don't feel like you gonna even be able to make it to see this. Or if you in the streets, you might not even think you're gonna make it to see 18, 21. So of course you're not gonna be talking about no damn investing. Investing? What is investing? Do I even know how to spell investing? No. Because are we even being pushed to be good readers in school? So it's little things like that, and working in a school in Nashville, girl. It broke my heart. It broke my heart, and I was just like, this is where we at with education with our kids? Like, I'm talking about some veganism and eating healthy and reading books. Baby, we ain't even reading good. Like, we gotta dial all the way back with it. Like, sometimes it's like, you can't even jump right into telling somebody about, oh, you need to be healing this and doing this, doing that, because they haven't even done step one, like the prerequisites for this. So sometimes you just gotta dial all the way back and really help people like from the root of stuff, because a lot of people don't even have the quote unquote privilege to dream. They don't even know that that's a possibility for them. Right. So it's that mental for some people out there. And you know, I was blessed to have a mom. And I'll say parents, but you know, my mama, that's my dog. Like, we like this because I'm literally her. I'm her only daughter, and I'm my dad's only daughter. But you know, that mom and daughter like relationship is just like, she she really put this in me. So it's like I was blessed to have that, to have a mom that was speaking life into me, telling me I'm beautiful when the world was telling me that dark skin was not it, that my natural hair, my natural nose and lips was not it. If I didn't have that, I wouldn't have even had the little confidence I had as a teenager, because that was even scary and, materialistic and all that. But it's like, I always have to remember that everybody wasn't raised like you. Those people didn't have no affection in the house.
Nope.
So just always being mindful of backgrounds and how other people was raised, and just, and so much you got to do just to stay relatable and just mindful. Mindfulness and consideration is big too.